to Game 5, featuring our visiting Moncton Thunderbirds, coached by James Sanford, and your St. John Vitos, coached by Colin McSween. At this time, we ask you to rise if you can and remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem.
Well, folks, it all comes down to this. Game 5 in the Battle of New Brunswick of the Nova Scotia U16 AAA Hockey League playoffs. The Moncton Thunderbirds, down 3-1 in the series, travel to the Harbor City to take on the St. John Vitos, who look to close things out and punch their ticket to Tyne Valley in a few weeks' time. My name's Dayton Camo, welcoming you inside the Q-Plex here in Quispamsis. But before we get going, we are on upset watch, folks. The Basin Armada in Game 2 are down 4-2 to the Dartmouth Voyageurs up at the Greenfoot Energy Center in Bedford. This one could be the first upset of the playoffs that we see here. And earlier today, the Kings Hockey Club took down the Valley Wildcats in their best-of-3 series with a 5-2 win. So the Kings have punched their ticket to Tyne Valley. We're just about set here from Quispamsis at the Q-Plex. Let's get rolling, folks. Game 5 is just about underway. Vitos control off the draw. Cormier sends a long shot down the ice, and no icing call there as it's held on to by Gallant. Cormier had the game winner last night, a shot from the point. We'll get your starting goaltenders in just a moment as well. Once again, for the Thunderbirds, it's Blake Gallant. He's been a rock so far for the Thunderbirds, and he's going to have to be once again here today. And Sam Millier, yes, you heard that, folks. Sam Millier, his little sister, might have gave me the business on how to pronounce his last name, but I'm glad I got it right, as the Vitos will work in offside. So the faceoff will come back outside the zone. Just a quick 28 seconds into this one. O'Toole, Dagland, Wilson out there. Fortin, Dag will face off. McKinnon picks it up for the Vitos to Cormier, and that one's rammed into the offensive zone off the tip from Carson O'Toole. Price up the wall to Chamberlain. He's taking a bump there from Dagla, and O'Toole goes down. Puck underneath him. Wilson trying to dig it free. He does, but it's knocked off his stick. Dagla will reset on the half wall. Into the slot. Dagla trying to get one to go, but that one's turned aside by Blake Gallant, and he'll hold on. 19:04 left in the opening frame. Some offensive chances early for the St. John Vitos. Vitos top line coming back out here. Bellier, Cooling, and Livingstone. The top 3 point scorers for this Vitos squad. 7, 6, and 5 points respectively for the three. Bellier and throws that into the far side. Cooling giving chase. Now Livingstone on the backhander trying to throw one ahead for Bellier. He knocks it back into open ice, and a big bump thrown by the captain, Trip Livingstone. Livingstone gives a bump to Blais, and now some more rough stuff. Bellier tries to poke it down to the captain. Livingstone in front, turned aside by Gallant. The rebound off his shin pad. Shanks is trying to get that one towards the goal. His backhander just goes off the side of the net. Bellier covers for him at the point. Bellier off the wall. It might have hit the linesman. That's definitely a stinger there. This one's sent down the ice. Millier lets that one go by his blocker's side, but that's an icing call. Charge to the Thunderbirds, excuse me. So back down to the glove hand side of Blake Gallant. We go for the faceoff. We'll drop this puck to the blocker side, rather. Face off, one in front. The backhander turned aside by Gallant. That was Pearson trying to work it towards the net. Pearson switching from the white tape to the black tape. Always throws me off for a second. When you do a team's game so long, you start to recognize them by their gear, the way they skate, not the last name or the number on their jersey. Ahern picks it up. Pinned to the wall, though, and this one's able to be worked out by Nicholson, and he's stepped up into on the far side by Jake Garbo. Tennyson got it. Down the near side. Stops up. He's spilled. Just lost an edge. Thériault. Far side, back into the slot. Massadal, but Thériault just worked in offside, a little bit ahead of the play. So back out to neutral ice we go for the face-off. Thériault and Zwanveld will try to set something up here off the draw. Alexandre Mazaral will face off here with Alex Cutler. Cutler able to win that one back to Cormier. McKinnon up ahead for Cutler, and that one's dumped into the offensive zone. Tyrus Peters tried to play it around the wall, but it's intercepted. Whitaker to McKinnon. That shot just goes wide. A chance now for Thériault to get it out. He does. That one's out to center ice. Giving chase is Mazaral. Mazaral working in on McKinnon. And McKinnon stepped into there by Kyron Lance. Spun in front. Millier tried to swipe at it with the paddle. Just goes underneath. Now Lance back around the wall. Zwanveld played it down low. Lance tried to dig one out front, taken down, and the fans will call for a trip. Thériault into the slot. Mazaral works one in. That one's turned back. Cutler through center. They'll dump this one in and head off for a change. A whole new 5 will come out now for the Vitos. Zwanveld, the captain. Peters around the wall. This one gets to the point. Long shot goes wide on the glove side. Cameron Wilson in there trying to dig this one free. Thériault flips it high out to center. That one able to get by Shanks, but he's back to clear this one out of danger. Fortin goes back into neutral ice. Wilson tried to strip Price of the puck. And now Steves on the far side gets it back out of the defensive zone. McQuaid. Back down low. Wilson. Picked up by Fortin. And now sent down into the offensive zone. Fortin took a bump on the far side. Another crushing hit from Alex Dagla this time. And now Arbo stretches that one back as O'Toole, but it's still offside as this one's called down. We're going to get the face-off back outside the defensive zone. 14:23 left to go here in the first period. We're still scoreless. Off the draw. This one's played to the near side for Godden. He dumps it into the offensive zone. Blais tries to chip at that. Livingstone sends him to the ice out front. A chance, but Gallant, point blank, will turn it aside. Bellier ripped one right on. Gallant looks like he's favoring something down in the crease, but they'll get right back up. Looks to be fine on that one, as the Vitos U18 team takes their spot down here, watching their younger counterparts take on the Moncton squad. Gallant taking his time in the crease before he gets set for this face-off, and I don't blame him. Cooling and Chamberlain face off, and it's one back by Will Chamberlain. Up the wall, McNaughton takes a bump on the near side from Bellier. And now Blais switches with Zwanveld. Played up the near side, McNaughton to Chamberlain. And they'll rip one on. That's dropped by Millier out of the glove. And now Bellier through center. Cross ice to Livingstone. That one couldn't be received cleanly, and it's slapped back out of the zone. Net comes off, so a face-off once again. Livingstone and Zwanveld in a pushing match there on the far side. A new trio will come out here for the Vitos. Greeley with Ahern and Pearson flanking him. McKinnon and Cormier, the two defensemen. Back around the end wall. This one's played for Steves. He's got Ahern working down on him. Greeley plays it down low. Steves giving shots to Ahern. Back from the point. This one's tipped wide of the net. Peters plays it around the wall. Cormier looks to hold the line. O'Connor rather, trying to chip one out of the zone. This one gets out. Back for McKinnon. Now up ahead, Ahern. Peters intercepts, and it's played to the half wall. Greeley giving chase. Back around for Steves. Off the glass. This one bounces off the stick of Cormier. But putting this right back into play is Talon Pearson. Down the ice. This one goes behind Millier. That'll be an icing call, and that'll be that. We'll head back to a face-off down in the Thunderbirds zone. Dagla will face off with O'Toole and Wilson on his flanks. Wilson tried to chip that back to the line. He gets a stick on it. One-on-one now. Cousins trying to work in on Shanks. Into the corner. Shanks plays it back out of danger, but it's Cousins there to intercept. The leading goal scorer here for the Thunderbirds. He's got a point per game here in these playoffs. Blais, far side, Price into the slot. O'Toole there to take it away, and he hits Wilson. Up ahead, Dagla. Long shot off the pad. That one's turned aside. Mazaral spins off the pressure from Alexander Dagla, excuse me. That one's Back up through center ice. No icing is the call. Must have been touched on the far side. And now McQuaid to Wilson. He dumps this into the near side corner. O'Toole takes a bump from Blais, and they'll say hello in the near side corner before this one's flipped out to center. Mazzarot able to strip this one. A penalty coming to the Vitos as Mazzarot's taking down Gallant to the bench. But they'll touch up, and that'll be blown dead. We'll see what comes of that. But Arbo looks like he's going to make his way to the box. Back from the point, Mazzarol. That's off a stick and out of play. We'll get set for another face-off here. 11-12 left to go in the first period. We're scoreless. Shots 7-2 in favor of the Vitos. Face-off to the blocker side of the LC Puck native Millier. Off the face-off, the Vito is able to get this one out of the zone. Cooling, driving wide around the net, and he scores! Oh my! The exact same goal we saw versus the Kings a few weeks ago. Case and Cooling wraps it on the far side, and just like that, the Vitos take an early lead here at home. Face-off won by the Vitos. McKinnon sends one up through center. Gallant plays it there for Mazzarol. Pearson giving chase. Mazzarol, Forte, and Tedio, the trio out there now. Looks like the Thunderbirds going with 5 forwards out on this power play. Theriot, Lance, Martin Carol, and Mazzarol and Fortin. Backdoor, Theriot right where he scored from last night. But that one's going to be sent wide. Looks like another penalty coming now. Lance is going to make his way to the box, and just like that, we're back to even strength. And we're going down to the veto zone for another face-off down here. 49 seconds to go on the power play, or excuse me, on the penalty to Arbo. McQuaid, Ahern, Dagla. Shanks up top. The quartet out here for the Vitos. Swanveld, Steves, Chamberlain, and Learmouth for the Birds. Shanks able to get this one away from Learmouth, and now back over to McQuaid. It's Ahern off the draw. He gets this one into the offensive zone, but he takes a bump from the big man, Mason Swanveld. It is now 5-2 for the Voyageurs, so unless the Armada can score 3 goals in 3 minutes, the Voyageurs look like they've punched their ticket to Tyne Valley.
4 minutes for Spearing. Lance, 4 minutes Spearing at a time.
So the official call to Kyron Lance, 4 minutes for the spear. We get set for another face-off to the glove side of Millier. 15 seconds left to go on the penalty here to Jake Arbo. Now Cooling. Tried to start up from his own zone, but that one's knocked back off his stick. It's going to be called offside at the line, so a face-off will come back out to neutral ice. Cooling will face off here once again, this time against Mazarol. Mazarol able to win that one back. Zwanveld slaps it into the offensive zone. Arbo back out now for the Vitos, and they're back to their power play once Wilson gets on and switches for Arbo. McKinnon drops there for Livingstone. Up ahead to Cooling. Over the line. He'll wait for Whitaker to set up down low, but Cooling elects to drop it down to Livingstone. Livingstone down low for Wilson. A lot of moving parts on this Vitos power play. The shot goes up, hits Gallant in the mask. He's all right. McKinnon down low, Wilson. Now Livingstone to Wilson in the bumper to McKinnon, looking to feed that one for the one-timer. Just a little bit out of his reach. Wilson sitting down low once again. Livingstone on the half wall. He'll work his way into the slot. Livingstone around another man. Tried to fire it up on the short side. They'll jam at it, but Gallant able to hold the door. Some pushing and shoving in front. We'll take a look at the schedule today. It started earlier this afternoon. The Buccaneers able to tie their series against the Thunder. The Kings able to take down the Wildcats and lead 2-0 to sweep them. The Cabot Highlanders and Cape Breton Jets postponed. The Voyageurs about to upset the Armada in 2. The Rebels and Dukes underway from the Simmons Sports Center in Charlottetown. And this one here, the last game of the day on High Button Sports, as we get Blake Gallant's net put back in place. The linesman still trying to get that all sorted out. They'll squirt some water around the peg, trying to freeze it up and make it a little more solid. And now McQuaid off the draw. Tried to fire one up on the blocker side. That's turned aside by Blake Gallant. Cormier. Up through center, he hits McQuaid. Sutter McQuaid into the offensive zone. Tries to center one in front. O'Toole just couldn't get a stick on it. Back to the point. Cormier couldn't quite get there, so it's back out to center ice. He'll reset for the Vitos. Cormier, the game-winning goal scorer from last night. Walks into the O-zone. Stops up. Back to the point for Dagler. Back to Cormier. He walks around the top of the zone. Fires one through. That's turned aside by Blake Gallant. Bellier on the half wall. Looks to set up. Drops back for Dagler. And now this one's sent down the ice once again. Cormier will head off. Switch with McKinnon. And the league's leading point scoring defenseman starts up from his own zone. McKinnon rips one off the blocker. And now to center. A little miscommunication there by the Vitos as a couple of forwards going to change. Nobody able to pick up that loose puck. And it's sent down the ice. Cooling. Therefore, once again, starting from his own zone. Gets to the blue, now the red, and he'll work it into the offensive zone. Try to cut back into the slot. But there with a good stick was Martin Carol. McKinnon from his own zone. Starts up to the near side, Cooling. Trying to find an option. That goes right off the toe. Looking for the stick of McKinnon. We've seen that duo connect a few times this season. Wilson trying to spin off a check in the slot, but the puck bounces back out to neutral ice. Livingstone will pick it up one more time. Cooling. Dipsy doodles through the neutral zone. Milia, banging the stick to let them know it's just about back to even strength as Wilson goes off the cage of Gallant. And now back to 5-on-5. Tennyson Godden with it in the defensive zone. He goes back up the wall. Zwanveld to Harvey's shot. That one just missed on the near side. 1 minute and 9 seconds left in Bedford, and the Basin Armada have cut the deficit to 2. But it's definitely crunch time. I'll keep you updated as I can here with that score and any other score from around the league tonight. as the face-off will come. We'll take a look. So face-off back to the glove side of Gallant. Fortin on the draw. Back to Peters. Around the wall for Davis McQuaid. And now back out to center. This one played off a stick. Godden couldn't hold the line. He'll let that one go back for Arbo. Arbo spins off the pressure, but plays it back up the near side wall. Cutler trying to race away. And now Arbo with a stick on and gets it out of the zone. Fortin will have to reset. Back for Peters. Cross ice for Blais. Fortin calling for it in the middle of the ice. But the Thunderbirds will try the near side. This one unable to find the stick of Chamberlain. And down the ice we go for a face-off. .5-4 the score is now in Bedford, so the Basin Armada not done yet. We'll take a look next whistle and get you a score from Charlottetown in the Island Series. That's game 1 of their best of 7. Over from the Simmons Sports Center tonight. This one's played down the wall. Cutler trying to give chase. Picked up by Peters. They'll throw it around for Matthews. Picked back up by the Vitos. Pearson trying to drag one into the slot. That's no good. Back down low, Blais. Played it up the wall. Chamberlain. In the center. A big hit almost thrown there, but it just missed. Back across for Godden. Or McQuaid, excuse me. McQuaid plays it up through center. And now taking away Chamberlain. A chance in on net, but he's shoved off the puck by Sutter McQuaid. Up to center. Steves trying to play that back into the offensive zone. He gets it into the corner. McQuaid picks it up. Surveys his options from behind his net. Lance waiting out in front of the blue paint. This one's sent out to center. Wilson on the far side. Trying to get this one past Steves on the way in, but they'll lose an edge. And that was Livingstone, excuse me. Now Livingstone picks it back up in the slot. Goes back door. McKinnon trying to fire one along the ice, looking for a tip in front, but getting the paddle down was Blake Gallant. 3:07 left to go here in the first. And just as I say that, the Basin Armada skate down the ice as the Dartmouth Voyageurs celebrate. They've punched their ticket to Tyne Valley with an upset win in Bedford. So 2 teams punching their tickets today. It's the Kings and the Voyageurs. Ahern down low. Livingstone out here with Ahern and Greeley on this shift. Cousins up the far side. This one's played into Millier. He swats it back behind the net. Cousins trying to play it out front. That one just missed the stick of O'Connor. Now Greeley thumps that one into the far side corner. And now Maxim Learmouth from his own zone with speed, trying to make a move there on McKinnon. Spins back to the half wall, throws it in front, and that one goes wide. Ryland Cousins into the slot. Once again, cleared down the ice. 2:05 left to go. This one looking like it's going to have enough for the ice, but the linesmen call it off. Quick pass up through center, taken away by Wilson. He'll play it ahead for Garson O'Toole. O'Toole walks in, fires up top, rebound, saved by Gallant. Wilson on the near side wall in the corner. He spins off the pressure. Throws one back in front. That just goes wide on the far side. Arbo now. Back into the slot. That misses the stick of Wilson, looking for a tip in front. Evan Price up the wall, looking to be tipped in by Chamberlain. It is. 1:25 left to go here in the first. O'Toole will chip this one back out to center. Dagla gets a stick on it, but McNaughton swings it back into the offensive zone. Arbo back up the wall, far side for Wilson. They'll switch the playing field here. It's O'Toole looking to drag into the slot. He drops for Alex Dagla. Back up top, but Gallant there to turn it away on the short side. Shanks from the point. He'll send one off the pad of Gallant. The rebound travels into the corner. Shanks back out in the neutral zone. He'll dump it back in deep. Peters there with 40 seconds to go. Up top, McNaughton. Now Shanks. Back up top for O'Toole. And now Dagla. Lance trying to work it past a couple of forwards there. Now Fortin ran into on the far side by O'Toole. Fortin stands him up. And with 12 seconds to go, we'll get another face-off back out here to neutral ice. Shots are 19-4 in favor of the Vitos. They've poured a hefty amount of rubber on Blake Gallant, but only finding the back of the net on one of them. Cooling will set up here for the draw against Alexis Fortin. To the glove side of Millier. Cooling able to win that draw back. Shanks first on it. He's got time. He'll lift a high floater out to center. That one's going to travel down the ice. And an icing call is charged to the Vitos with 3 seconds left to go. So quick chance to get a shot on net to end the period here for the Thunderbirds before the buzzer sounds. So folks, after the second period of play, right before we head into the third, the Eastern Dukes lead the Western Rebels 2-1 in Charlottetown. So the buzzer sounds. That'll do it here for the opening 20 minutes from the Q-Plex. You're watching High Button Sports. Stay tuned, because Welcome back inside the Q-Plex here in Quispams is for the second period of play between the Moncton Thunderbirds and the St. John Vitos. The Vitos lead the Birds 1-0 through the opening 20 minutes. And we've got some upsets to tell you about. The Voyageurs upsetting the Armada in 2 games. And then a final score update from Charlottetown. The Eastern Dukes taking game 1 over the Western Rebels, 2-1 from Charlottetown. So their best of series, it's 1-0 in favor of the Dukes. And this is the last game of the day here on High Button Sports, and we thank you for tuning in. Both teams will get set here for opening face-off in the second period as Milia's net gets put back on the moorings. Cooling and Fortin on the draw. And we're underway. This one's played into the Vitos zone. Cormier back forward. He reverses back for Bellier up the wall, but he's unable to get that one out of the zone. Price back across. Cooling intercepts in the slot. He rips one off the knob of the stick of Gallant. And now Fortin. Up ahead for Martin Carroll. And now Cormier. Cross ice for Bellier. That's knocked into the offensive zone. Price will backhand that one off the back of the goal. So it takes a weird bump back into the corner. Price intercepted down low. This one goes over to the half wall. Livingstone plays it back to the point, and Cormier throws it back down deep. Far side, Chamberlain unable to get that one out of the zone. McQuaid held the line over on the far side. Chance in front. That one's turned aside. Player taken down, but no call. Livingstone back on it. Tried to center one out front. Now back into the corner. Price around the wall, chipped to the line. Shanks will grab that at the red and throw it right back in. Now a chance for O'Toole. Walks in off the post. Back for the Grayson Shanks at the point. Dagler back down low for Wilson. He backhands that one around the wall. Now held once again at the line. McQuaid walks in, fires glove side. That one just goes wide. Chamberlain chips it out to center. And now back out to center they go. This one's sent into the offensive zone. Shanks from the point. Lets one go. O'Connor into the slot. Wilson, the penalty coming now to the Thunderbirds. They touched up but didn't blow it dead yet. Shanks back across ice. McQuaid. That's O'Toole down low. It's dumped into the offensive zone, but they're offside. And they'll finally blow it dead as O'Toole makes his way back to the bench. We'll see who heads off here for the Thunderbirds. It's going to be Maxim Learmouth heading off for 2 or less. He'll hope it's the full 2. And the Vitos will send out the unit of Wilson, Cooling, and Whitaker with McKinnon and Livingstone at the points. Livingstone takes a stinger off the glove, unable to hold it, and they'll call it a glove pass at the red line out in center ice.
Number 17, Maxim Learmouth, 2 minutes for boarding. Learmouth, 2 minutes boarding at 2:39.
Face-off is controlled by the Vitos. Sent near side for McKinnon. He gets over the blue line, drops back for Cooling at the top of the zone. Cooling walks that line ever so gently. Drops back for Livingstone, across for McKinnon. Tries to fire it back door, looking for the tip off the stick of Wilson. No good. It's back up top. Cooling to McKinnon. Fires it through. That's off a stick and up and out of play. Another whistle will come. 16:45 to go here in the second. 36 seconds gone on the penalty to Maxim Learmouth. Same five stay out on the ice for the Vitos, and they'll look to double their lead. Livingstone. Pass back. That one goes through both pairs of defensemen. It's McKinnon who goes back for it. Max McKinnon up far side, looking ahead for Whitaker. That one just a little bit too far out of his reach, and Blais will drive him into the wall. Picked up by McKinnon. Back up top, Livingstone. Drops for McKinnon. Livingstone trying to go back door for Cooling. That one hopped over his stick. Will play it back to the point for Max McKinnon. Livingstone off the side of the goal, and this one hops back behind the net for Whitaker. Try to play it to the far side for Cooling, but that one intercepted. And now played down the ice. That will squeak out to center, but no further. McKinnon there for it. Cooling tries to make a move at center, has it knocked off his stick. Livingstone will play it up the wall. Wilson trying to backhand it over to center. Max McKinnon able to grab this one. He walks, fires, and that one's up and out of play once again off a stick. 19 seconds left to go here on the Vitos power play. Unable to capitalize on this one. Yesterday they scored on the first shift of the game on a power play. And they'll send out their second unit for the last 19 seconds. Alex Dagla back up top. Cormier shot into a pair of skates. Steves has it. And they'll play it to the line. And now Dagla turns back, out through center, but Steves gets a stick on it. And now played in once again by McQuaid. Back to even strength as Learmouth out of the box. And now a chip ahead for Mazzarella. He can't get that one cleanly. Lets it go to the far side. Swanveld seals that one back. Plays it back. Terriot cross ice quickly. Mazzarella tried to make a move there on Cormier. No good. That was Learmouth, excuse me. Learmouth. Far side. Bellier and Swanveld will run into each other. A quick pass up ahead. Mazzarella. He couldn't get that one into the offensive zone to a white jersey. So the Vitos will turn back quickly. O'Toole, pad save by Gallant. He drives back down low around the top of the circles. Now a quick pass around the wall by Swanveld. This one gets to Alex Dagla, and he'll send this back out to neutral ice. Chance for O'Toole to get this by. Now a 2-on-1 for the Vitos. Drop for Cormier. He'll shoot. Turn aside Gallant. What a chance for Cormier to fire one and get one, putting the Vitos ahead, but no dice. And now we'll get a Vitos penalty here. It'll be Carson O'Toole heading to the box. Got it. Swiped at it. Terriot. Fortin drops. That one goes off the blocker of Millier, and now they'll set up once again. Fortin on the near side. Goes back up top for Terriot. This is the same power play unit that scored a beauty last night. Mazzarella trying to make a move there on Greeley on the near side. Theriot trying to dig that one free. Gets it back to Fortin, but it's going to skip out of the zone. And this one goes all the way down the ice. Pearson giving chase to Fortin. Chance in front. Greeley just couldn't get a stick on that puck. Now he does. Down low, Mazzarol giving chase to Pearson, trying to dig that one free, as well as Fortin. And now Fortin. Up ahead for Theriot. Govy Theriot into the slot. That one gets turned aside by Millier. 51 seconds left in the power play here for the Thunderbirds, and they'll send out their second unit. Featuring their leading scorer, Ryland Cousins. Chamberlain, Matthews, and Steves, Cousins, and Peters at the point. Steves works his way back to the right point. Peters gets it far side, plays it back for Steves, but that one's intercepted by Sean Ahern. He rips one right into the bread basket of Gallant, and he'll hold on with 12:35 to go. Off the face-off. The Vitos control. Shanks. D to D with McQuaid. Sutter McQuaid will send this one back down the ice. Gallant kicks that one over to the corner. Steves will pick this one back up on his own net. Surveys his options. Look for someone to pass this off to. Spinning off is Chamberlain on the far side. He'll take a big bump from Sutter McQuaid right out at center. Stick the hip out and got the best of Chamberlain on the far side. Peters plays it up around the wall. This one gets to the line and out. Millier looking to cover that one up. He lets it go for McKinnon. And now back the other side for Wilson. Up ahead for Whitaker. Whitaker in front, trying to shovel one upstairs. But Gallant gets in front, turns that aside. (25-5), the shots on goal in this one. Blake Gallant seen a ton of rubber, but he stopped almost every one of them. Now Lance dumps this one in. Drop back for Cormier. Picks it up, goes up through center. Off a stick, but Godin there to pick it up. Got a nice move, or that's Bellier, excuse me. And now a hit right at the whistle. McKinnon taking a bump there from Kyron Lance. So back out to neutral ice for the face-off. Cooling, Bellier, Livingstone. They'll get that top line back out there. Cousins and Livingstone jawing out on the far side. Linesman has to tell them to break it up. Cormier picks it up, dumps that one into the offensive zone. Cousins backhands that one around the wall. Picked up behind the net. This time by Maxim Learmouth. Tries to get into the offensive zone. Runs into Cormier on his way through. And now McKinnon will fire one out of the zone. But off the stick of Cousins it goes. It fooled me. And now Cormier with some space up through center. He passes that one off to Livingstone. Cormier going to drive the net. And now Steves for the Thunderbirds will send it the other way. Holding that one onside was Learmouth as he stretched the leg back. Steves fires one high and wide into the corner. Picking it up is Ryland Cousins. Back down low. And now a hand pass, which is completely legal in the defensive zone. None of the fans aware that that one completely legal. Now the pass in front, going to be covered up by Gallant. So another face-off will come down here, 9:25 to go in the second period. And some hockey fans learning a new rule here in this one. O'Toole off the draw, lets it go back to Arbo. His shot blocked, and it gets all the way back for Godin. Godin cross ice, picked off by Martin Carole. But the diving Arbo able to get in front and knock it free. Godin back down low. Hit from Dagla sent Steves to the ice, but he's going to get called. And he'll get called for head contact, so we'll wait to see if it's 2 or 4. This one could be a big turning point here for the Thunderbirds. But they're just going to call it 2. So Dagla off to the box for 2 minutes, and the Vitos assistant captain will watch his PK unit go to work once again. Greeley facing off down low with Fortin. But off the draw, that's McQuaid with a burst of speed to the backhand. McQuaid, pad save by Gallant. He's still got it. Penalty coming now to the Thunderbirds. McQuaid with possession. He'll hold on out at center. Lance lost an edge out at center. The Vitos faithful letting him hear it. Played back up the wall for Pearson. Shanks trying to get this one out of danger. Drops back. Pearson back again. He takes a bump from Martin Carole. It's played far side for McQuaid. McQuaid up ahead. That one's chipped in by Cooling. McQuaid looking back door. That one speeds or squeaks under the skates of Pearson. He takes a bump. Thunderbirds looking to dig after it, and they'll finally get a touch. This one's blown dead. We're going to get some 4-on-4 hockey. We'll look to see who takes this one here. And it's going to be Alexandre Mazarol with the penalty there. So he'll sit for 2 minutes. We'll get a minute 7 of 4-on-4 before the Vitos sending out their power play unit. Cormier, McKinnon, Cooling, and Livingstone back out there for the Vitos. They'll look to get something going here with some extra ice. McKinnon picks it back up off the draw, goes cross ice to Cormier. Cooling tries to walk into the slot, taken away. Now down low, McKinnon. Thunderbirds get there first. It's played up top for Chamberlain. He lets one go. That's off a stick and up into the netting. So another face-off to come. So Theriot and Fortin getting sent off. They tried to come on a little bit too late. Chamberlain will grab this draw once again. He'll face off against the captain, Trip Livingstone. That one's played up through neutral ice. Swanveld first to it there with the Thunderbirds, but he plays it a little too far back out of the reach of Blais. And now number 22 in white able to get this one out to neutral ice, but he bobbles it across the blue line, so that's offside. And the Birds will have to touch up once again in their defensive zone. Blais swings to the far side. Zwanveld tries to chip this one by Cormier. Chamberlain picks up the loose puck, knocks it back down, but Cooling will pick this one up, get it ahead to Livingstone. A 2-on-1 for the Vitos. This one sent back door, and a great save by Gallant. Kicks the pad out, and the net comes off its moorings. Dagla goes flying, but that one stays out of the back of the net. We still sit 1-0. 6:51 to go here in the second period. Off the face-off, Cormier walks into the slot. That one goes off the blocker of Gallant. Now Bellier trying to walk into the slot and rip one himself. He does, but that one just goes wide. O'Toole down low. Up to the half wall for McQuaid. That one goes off a body and over the net once again. Dagla on the far side. He's got Cormier at the points. He feeds him. Cormier with a shot. That one goes off a body and wide as well. Now Price able to pick this one up, send it down the ice. Vitos on the power play, so that one's no ice. Now Cousins. Off the draw, he fans out at center. Cousins got a stick on it, played it ahead. O'Toole now for the Vitos, able to shoot one on. But Gallant turns it aside. 5:56. And the Vitos still pouring on the rubber towards Gallant. Thunderbirds still only with 5 shots. Now the Vitos racing ahead. Cutler starts the rush. Cutler and Whitaker giving chase down low, but it's sent back out to neutral ice. They'll start once again. Fortin has that one knocked off his stick. Garbo back the other way for the Vitos. Drives wide on Steves. And he'll run into Gallant, but no call. That one is turned right back the other way by Matthews. He sends it into the offensive zone. Millier out to play it. Now down the far side. Played in deep. Bellier trying to work around Peters. Or Whitaker, excuse me. Up the wall, Matthews. Ahead for McQuaid. Chance in all alone for O'Connor, but it rolled off his stick. He found it in the corner. And now back in front, Millier tried to get a glove on that. No good, it's played up the wall. And now an icing called charge to the Vitos. We'll head back down to the Vitos zone. 4:22 left to go here in the second. Face off. Won by the Thunderbirds. It's slung down low. Martin Carroll couldn't get a stick on that. It's played up by Shanks. He's got speed. In a neutral ice, he takes a bump, but he's still got it. He'll play it over to the far side for McQuaid. A long dump-in attempt. He's played into the far corner. Talon Pearson first to it. But Martin Carroll able to get it out to center ice. Learmouth into the offensive zone. McQuaid there first for the Vitos. Puck battle along that near side wall. Dug free by Chamberlain. Penalty coming now to the Vitos. That'll be called a Shanks, I believe. So it would be a hold to Shanks for 2 minutes. 3:24 left to go here in the second. And the Thunderbirds will get a chance on the man advantage. Face off to the glove side of Millier. Livingstone will face off with Mazarol. Theriot off the draw, looks to set up, slings it down low. Lance had that one pop off his stick. McKinnon goes off the glass and all the way down the ice. Gallant will play it out for Blais. Blais walks up with the other 22 in black, watching him ever so closely. Spins it back for Mazarol. Up ahead for Theriot, drops for Blais. Up the far side, that's tipped in. And they'll give chase. McNaughton out there in place of Fortin on this power play unit. Blais. Played it around the wall. Theriot up top. Mazarol walks down low into the slot looking for Blais. Just couldn't connect. Back up top. They'll try once again. Mazarol had that one bounce off his stick. Gets out to center. And they'll have to reset. Far side. That one's tipped in. Mazarol will give chase. He looks to get first to it. But Cormier will slap that one around the wall. This one's played all the way back down for Blake Gallant. A risky play. Wilson trying to intercept right out front. Gallant gets in front and he plays it, trying to move it quickly. And another pad save. Livingstone trying to play it right out front for Wilson. And another save by Gallant. Livingstone back on it once again. Spins off the check from Chamberlain. And now Blais. They'll double team Wilson in the corner, but he's still got it. Dug down low. Now a shoving match between Livingstone, and Blais down the corner as Chamberlain rips it off the stick of Millier and up into the netting with 1:28 to go. So a great chance by the Thunderbirds to tie it up. And then some even better penalty killing by Wilson and Livingstone. And now the last chance opportunity here for the Birds on the man advantage. Fortin on the draw. Now a shot goes wide right off the face-off. Chamberlain on it as Shanks goes back into the defensive zone. Shanks gonna pick this up the near side. He gets to the red line and dumps it in towards Gallant. And that'll be a face-off. Back down to the Thunderbird zone. The Vitos hitting 30 in the shot category, while the Thunderbirds have their 6th. Still a 1-0 game, though, here from the Qplex as the Vitos try and punch their ticket to Tyne Valley with a win here tonight. Maxim Learmouth off the draw will try to set up here for the Birds. Learmouth with speed, trying to get by McQuaid. That one goes off a stick, up off the glass. Played around for Zwanveld. Goes back up top. Price gonna let one go. Couldn't get to the net. McQuaid got a stick down in time. Price kicks at it, keeps it in, and once again able to hold the line. But this time, chance away for the Vitos. It's O'Toole to Bellier, and that one just goes into the corner, a little bit wide of the stick of number 13 in black. McKinnon down low, lets it go back up top for Dagla. Touched up top by McKinnon with the high stick, so that'll be blown down. It'll come back to the neutral zone. Right outside the Vitos blue line. Learmouth able to win that draw for the Thunderbirds. Peters will send it around the end wall. Cormier first to it. 10 seconds to go. Vitos looking to get out of this period unscathed. And that'll do it. So through 2. Still a 1-0 lead here for the St. John Vitos over the Moncton Thunderbirds in Game 5. You're watching the Nova Scotia U16 AAA Hockey League playoffs right here on High Button Sports. Stay tuned because the third period coming up right after this intermission. Well, folks, it all comes down to this. The third and final period of play here in the decisive fifth game of the series. The Vitos lead the Thunderbirds 1-0 through 2 periods of play, but all that could change that is one shot on net. We'll get set for the opening period of play, or for the opening face-off in the third period of play, rather. And this one's right down the ice. No icing call. So Price able to play it up the wall for Chamberlain and start the breakout here for the Thunderbirds. Fortin will throw it far side. And now the Vitos looking to reset up the wall for Bellier. He goes cross ice for Livingstone. That one's floated high behind the net. Cooling there to grab it. Livingstone will dig it free. Up top, Livingstone spins it down low for Cooling. He looks back door, but Cormier couldn't get there in time. The stick of Swanville able to intercept. McKinnon will send one on net. Gallant will hold on. And another face-off will come. 19-10 gone, or left here in the third period. 50 seconds gone. Alexandre Mazarol will face off here with Alexandre Dagle. And now the Vitos control. Godin with a shot off the pad. It's Steves who gets it to the point, not out. Down low, Wilson. Try to play it in tight. Steves will stop up behind the net. Played up the far side for Kyron Lance. Wilson able to intercept. Wilson shoves Lance off the puck. Arbo tried to race up through the center of the ice. Lost an edge and had to retreat back to the point. Dagla gets a stick on that, but Mazarin able to get it outside the zone. He's got Terrio with him, but he'll work in offside. So back out to neutral ice comes the face-off. A minute 31 gone here in the third. I'll remind you guys that earlier tonight, the Valley Wildcats lost to the Kings, sending the Kings to Tyne Valley in a few weeks' time. The Voyageurs, or sending the Kings to the Provincials, up in Member 2, and they'll look to punch their ticket to Tyne Valley. And then the Voyageurs also getting a spot solidified up in Provincials in Member 2. These two teams, though, fighting for a spot directly into the Maritime Championships in Tyne Valley. And the Vitos one win away, 1 period away as we sit. Over on the island, the other best-of-7 series between the Western Rebels and Eastern Dukes finished today with a 2-1 score in favor of the Dukes. So the Dukes sit 1-0 over the Rebels in their best-of-7. The winner of that goes right to Tyne Valley, but also does the loser, as the Rebels are hosting, and you need a PEI team in the mix, so both of them going to Tyne Valley no matter what. Just like the Jets and Highlanders will both be at Provincials in the Nova Scotia side. This one's off the stick of Millier and up into the netting once again. 17:30 left to go here in the third. Mazarin and Cooling in the draw. Cooling wins it back. Cormier picks it up, flips ahead to Bellier. Trying to send one down the ice for Livingstone. He beats out the icing call. Flips it ahead. Livingstone tried to get it back to Cormier, but Mazarin was there. Sealing off the lane. Now Mazarin working back up through center. He's going to get the red line and send it deep. Millier blocker that one aside. Mazarin had that one poked off his stick by Max McKinnon. McKinnon up the wall. Livingstone goes cross ice for Bellier. Bellier made a move into the slot. Tried to go back to the outside, and that one goes wide. It'll spin around the wall for McKinnon. Back down low. Price there first. Plays it up the wall. McKinnon able to step in. But now the Birds away with numbers. It's a 3-on-2. Now 4 as Matthews joins the rush. Looks to spin it out front, but McKinnon able to get in his way. O'Toole trying to get there after the flip pass, but an icing call as Warnveld goes back to touch up, and we'll head back to the Vitos zone. And we're still sitting at a 1-0 score thanks to the Vitos and the league's leading postseason scorer, Case and Cooling, who sits in the face-off circle now. Cooling wins it back. McKinnon will pick this one up. Send it back out to center. Blais. Back around the wall. Cooling on the near side. Will pick it up and look to gain some speed. That one's tipped, but they'll call it an ice as it touched the stick of Livingstone on the wrong side of center. So back down to the blocker side of Millier we go. Cooling and Fortin once again in the face-off dot. Fortin able to win this one to the half wall to Chamberlain. Plays it back to the point, and O'Toole able to steal. Livingstone fakes the slap shot, walks in over the line. And now a trip coming to O'Toole. He takes Fortin down at center. And for the second time this game, Carson O'Toole will head to the penalty box. O'Toole pleading his case to the linesman. Nothing the linesman can do other than open the door. Mazarol, Lance, Martin Caron, Theriault, and Blais out there for the Thunderbirds. Back up top, Theriault to Blais. Back over to Theriault. He sets up on the near side, goes to Mazarol. Mazarol, shot, scores! Alexandre Mazarol from the top of the zone off the pass from Theriault. And just like that, on the 8th shot of the game for the Thunderbirds, they find the back of the net and we're all tied up. O'Connor, Cousins, and Learmouth, the trio for the Birds, with Pearson, Greeley, and Ahern facing off against them. It's dumped into the offensive zone, but that'll come right outside the line. It's called a high stick. So face-off will come. This one's going to come back down into the Thunderbird zone. What a laser from the point from Alexandre Mazarol. Just what the Thunderbirds needed to start this final period. And the Vitos have to find a way to get themselves back on top. Ahern drops back for Shanks. He throws it down low.
Assist number 7, Cody Terrio. And number 22, Elliot Blais.
This one gets outside the zone. Cousins, far side, trying to make a move there on Shanks. Shanks able to turn him away. Out to center. Steves back on it. Sends it deep. Steves will head off for a change. He's replaced there by Evan Price. This one's floated high out to center, but it hits a rafter up top. And that'll be blown dead. The faceoff will come back down to the Vitos zone. Cormier rims it around the wall for Livingstone. Back to McKinnon. Now Cormier, cross ice, looking for Cooling. And he'll pick it up Looking ahead for the captain, Livingstone. Beats out the icing. Drops it back down low. He'll take a hit in the corner. Livingstone's down. That'll draw a crowd. So Livingstone gonna get back up to his feet here. The captain, Zwanveld, off to the box for the Thunderbirds. Livingstone will head back to the bench. Livingstone will head off for the moment. Wilson will come out and take his place on the man advantage. Cormier McKinnon will man the points. It's Bellier, Wilson, and Kaysen Cooling. McQuaid wanted to jump on, but he'll hold off. Maybe a little too late to make that change. Off the draw, Cooling gets it to Wilson. Back to Max McKinnon. Now Cormier will set up. Looking back door for Cooling. Back up top, McKinnon. Spins down low to Cooling. Cormier on the back door. Spun down low. Pad save. Gallant. They score! Cameron Wilson on the back door. Gets the last touch. And he finds the back of the net. The Vitos take the 2-1 lead here in the third with 14:08 to go. Off the draw, picked up by Godin. Sends it back behind the net, Steves. Tried to center one out front. Mazzarolo on the chase, and they'll call it an icing. And the Moncton contingent over there not happy about that one. So Theriault, McNaughton, and Mazzarol, the forward unit for the Thunderbirds, coming right back out after giving up that last goal in the power play, trying to tie things back up here for the Birds. Face off win. Loose in front, and they score! Carson O'Toole finds the back of the net. The PA announcer not even done announcing the first goal, or rather the second from Wilson. Now they've got another one to announce, as well as a penalty to Declan Steves. Looked like he took it unsportsmanlike. So it's 3-1 for the Vitos. Just like that, and they're back on the power play. Or no, they won't call it a power play or a penalty to Steves. It's just a 10-minute misconduct. So the Thunderbirds, who are usually short defensemen anyway, will be without one of their top D-men in Declan Steves for almost the rest of this game until the 3.5-minute mark. Down low. Birds trying to get something going. Shot from Peters from the point goes wide. Learmouth will pick it up on the half wall. Learmouth tipped in front. Played to the far side wall. Talon Pearson able to get a stick on that. They'll drive it into the slot. Ahern fan on the shot. The second opportunity into a pair of skates. And Ahern will take a bump. Back out goes Learmouth. He's racing after that one. Shanks will send it back out to the top of the zone. Almost intercepted. A couple of Thunderbirds running into each other, so Shanks able to get this one back out to center off a good rush. Shanks will take a bump from Peters. They'll say hello, and now on the far side, Matthews all over McQuaid, but McQuaid able to get this one back out to center. Bleh. Up ahead for O'Connor. That one's tipped in deep. Livingstone will go to the far side. This one's cleared down the ice, so no icing. As Zwanveld works it back out to center. McKinnon. Now Cooling flips it back around to the near side. Zwanveld in front, off a skate in front. Bellier trying to chip this off the glass. Zwanveld holds the line. Now up top into the neutral ice once again. Bellier trying to strip Zwanveld, but he gets that one into the offensive zone momentarily before Livingstone has a chance in. That's off the block, or the glove rather, of Gallant. Now Cooling from behind the goal line out front to Bellier, and the third chance is sent wide. That's going to be cleared down the ice. And an icing call. Charge to the Thunderbirds. 11:09 to go. And it's a 3-1 game. So what has been a very unoffensive game for the first two periods has turned into a scoring outburst here in the third. 3 goals, and we're 9 minutes and 51 seconds in. I think my math was wrong there. I think it's 8 minutes and 51 seconds in, but that's why I'm up here and not in a math lab somewhere, as Millier will hold on. .10:52 left here in the third. Birds need 2. Face off one back to Blair. The shot goes wide. Shanks plays it up the wall to Wilson. He can't get it past Mazarod at the point. And he'll play it to McNaughton. McNaughton, shot turned aside by Millier. And he'll hold on. Alexandre Mazarod maybe playing a little bit of defense here with Declan Steeves in the box. Mazarod showing off his versatility out there, playing both ends of the ice. A shot from Cousins, blocked off the draw. Chamberlain in front. Cousins, back door. They score. Damian McNaughton on the back door, able to flip this one over the pad of Sam Millier. And the Thunderbirds have cut the lead back to 1. Cormier off the draw will send this one back out to center. Heads up as that one goes over the glass and up into the stands. This will come back out to center as it was touched off the stick of a Thunderbirds forward out at center. Mazarod and Blais still holding that blue line steady for the Thunderbirds. Thériault, Learmouth, and Martin Carole. Mazarod fires it in. First to it is McKinnon.
And number 12, William Chamberlain.
So Rylan Cousins continues his point per game streak in the playoffs, picking up a point on that last goal from Damien McNaughton. Mazarol now with speed, goes to Theriault. Theriault plays it into the slot. Martin Carroll down low. Theriault back out front. That one's cleared by McKinnon. He'll give a slash. That one goes undetected. Couple of Vitos and Thunderbirds mixed up there in the corner. Nobody able to dig this one free yet. Now it gets to McKinnon. Knocked off his stick. Mazarol back at the point with Blais waiting for someone to feed them. Gets back to Mazarol. He'll walk in. That one's blocked. And now Learmouth goes back to the point to Blais. Walking the line. That one comes out of the zone, but they'll say it stays in. Very adamant that that one had came out of the zone. Greeley takes a bump. Mazarol will knock that one into the defensive zone for Blais. And now Cousins back out to center. Learmouth back for Mazarol. Mazarol up ahead for McNaughton. He's got the latest. And he's looking for another. Bellier flips it out to center. Livingstone on the far side trying to get a stick on it. He does. But Chamberlain will come in to intercept. This one's played ahead for McNaughton. He'll dump this one into the offensive zone. Luc Bellier gets his stick on it, plays it back behind the net. Up ahead to the far side. Livingstone now cooling in through center. He dumps it off his stick, and that'll go off and out of play. The face-off looking like it might come back out to neutral ice, but the linesman looks like he's going to drop it to the glove side of Gallant. Face-off won by the Thunderbirds. It's collected by Cousins, sent far side. He's looking for McNaughton, but there to intercept was Sutter McQuaid. Now Bellier across. Livingstone. The pass was a little too hot to handle, but now a chance for Cooling in the slot. That one goes wide. Livingstone, backhander, saved by Gallant. The rebound drops in front, and he's got the second opportunity. Price gets a stick up high on Livingstone. They'll say, "How you doing?" down behind the net. O'Toole, Wilson, and Dagler with Shanks and McQuaid. Dagler will face off now with Alexis Fortin. Top unit back out there for the Thunderbirds. Fortin, Mazarol, Theriault. Mazarol able to grab this one and send it around the wall, but this is intercepted by Dagler. Back down for Mazarol. Puts it into open ice, goes up the far side for Lance, but that one a little bit out of his reach. Lance still giving chase down low. He gets a stick onto Shanks, and now Blais back out to center. Ahead, and that one's up into the penalty box. And back out to center ice they go. Mazarol picks it up off the draw. Tried to go up into center, taken away by some good hand-eye from Alexandre Dagler. Far side for Carson O'Toole. Towards the goal, pad save, lets a big rebound out, but Lance able to get this one to center. Theriault giving chase. And a big hit thrown on the far side. Kyron Lance levels Carson O'Toole. Now Fortin. Back over to the far side. Theriault trying to make a move there. Picked up by Fortin, sent towards the goal. Blais picks it back up. Goes to Mazaral. Don't know if Alex Mazaral has came off here since the last time I've said his name. Martin Carole with a long shot off a body. That one goes into the zone. Mazaral will finally make his way off the ice. Maybe it's because the Thunderbirds are running up 2 sets of defensemen. And once again, Declan Steeves will get another puck sent his way into the penalty box. Back down to the Vitos zone we go. Learmouth on the draw. Sent down low. Shanks pinches him off into the corner. O'Connor trying to dig it free. Now Peters watches this one go all the way back down into his D zone. Now tipped in behind the net. This one gets to the line. Peters able to hold it. Tipped just wide. O'Connor giving chase. Zwanveld will hold the line, send it back down in deep. Sutter McQuaid. Off a stick, gets to Case and Cooling. He's got speed and a couple of men to beat. Livingstone to McQuaid, fires it off a shin pad and wide. Livingstone fires the rebound off a body and wide as well. Bellier into a shin pad. Now McQuaid back into the slot for Livingstone. That one's taken away. Shanks down the wall, and it's picked up by Zwanveld. Back out to center for O'Connor. They'll dump it in deep. Shanks met down there by a forechecking Matthews. Now Ahern has to go off his feet. Shanks picks it back out to center. Mazaral with speed, working back into the offensive zone. Mazaral shot off a pad. Into the slot looking for Fortin. That one spun back down low on the half wall. Fortin trying to go back door right in the slot. Chamberlain sends it wide. What a chance to tie it up here for the Birds. Blais walks the line, sends it through. That one gets by the glove of Millier. And now back behind the net. It's sent around by Shanks. Gets to the half wall. Ahern tries to play it back outside the line. And the Birds will have to touch up. McQuaid. 3:45 to go here in the third. This one sent down the ice. It's going to be an icing call. Charged to the Vitos, but they'll say no ice as Gallant came out to play it. And the Thunderbirds fans irate. Mazaral drops back for Blais. And the boys in red and white will have to start back all the way from their own zone. Chamberlain looks cross ice. This one's sent out of play once again. Face off. Should come back down into the Vitos zone, as it will. But there's going to be a penalty. And it's going to go to Chamberlain. So a very unopportune time for the Birds to take a penalty. You can tell the bench doesn't like it. Head coach shaking his head on the bench over there. He's not a fan. How could you be? 3:17 on the clock. And they call Chamberlain will sit in the box for 2 or less here with less than 3 on the clock. Cousins working down on Cormier. He spins it off the stick, and now back into the offensive zone. Come the Vitos, looking to set up. It's Cooling into the slot to the point. McKinnon holds the line. Livingstone Cooling into the slot. That one sent wide. This will be dumped down the ice. Far side for Cormier. To Bellier. Walks in. Looking back door for Noah Cormier. Couldn't find his stick. McKinnon. Down low to Cooling into the slot. Cormier walking out. That one turned aside by Gallant. Once again. Cormier up top for McKinnon. He sends one down low to Cooling. Looking into the slot for Bellier, but it rolls off his stick. Now Livingstone. Down low. Cooling. Back up top, McQuaid sends one through. It's tipped high. And now Bellier to Livingstone. Cross ice for Cooling, but getting a stick there was McNaughton. And on the second attempt, he'll get it out of the zone. 1:39 to go, 20 seconds left on the penalty to Chamberlain. And now some good pressure by Bellier will stir things up down low. Millier lets the boys in black know that they're almost back to even strength. McQuaid, 75 seconds left on the clock. Sutter McQuaid, out through center to Bellier, trying to walk into the slot, but that one turned aside by the stick of Eliab Blais. Crunch time now for the Birds. Chance away for Theriault, but that one knocked off his skate. He'll meet Shanks in the corner. Dagla able to grab this one, but he's stripped by Learmouth at the top of the zone. Learmouth calling for it right back. He wants it. That shot off a glove. Back up top. Blais sends one through. Rebound cleared in front. 30 seconds. Cousins looking to come in and grab this puck. It's poked off his stick. And now it'll come to a whistle. 18 seconds left to go. But the faceoff going to come back down in the Vitos zone. A timeout has been called by the Thunderbirds. We'll be right back here on High Button. .18 seconds left on the clock. The Thunderbirds with the empty net, and they'll look to get something going here quick. Mazahal and Cooling on the face-off to the blocker or to the glove side of Sam Millier. Face-off one. Cousins shot blocked in front. Now a chance to the back door. That one sent wide, sent down the ice towards the open cage, but that'll be an icing call once the Birds get back in time. 6 seconds left on the clock. 6.9. And the Birds coming that close. One more chance. Both benches getting loud. Mazahal with Theriault setting up for the one-timer. Face-off won by the Vitos. It's pinned to the wall by Cormier. And the St. John Vitos have punched their ticket to Tyne Valley. We'll see you at the Maritime Championships. A 3-2 win for the St. John Vitos. It was a close one from the beginning. The Vitos will celebrate the series win.
We could ask the two teams to shake hands and then please you line up on your respective blue lines for the presentation of the championship banner.
And we'll get set for one of the best traditions in sports, the handshake line, as both teams will go through and we'll get set for the banner presentation once these teams get through with the handshake line here. So what everyone thought was going to be, or what should be, an easy sweep in the series for the Vitos was anything but that. The Thunderbirds giving them a run for their money multiple times.
Moncton and come up and receive your second place medals as presented by
So we'll send you off to the PA announcer for the rest of the medal ceremonies and the banner ceremonies here from the Q-Plex.
And now we would ask each of the Vitos to come up and get their gold medals presented by Hockey New Brunswick's Jeff McLeod. And now we would like team captain Trick Livingstone to come up and receive the championship banner. Congratulations, Vitos, who now go to play in the Atlantics in Tyne Valley, Prince Edward Island.
So that'll conclude our coverage here, the Nova Scotia U16 AAA Hockey League playoff series between the Thunderbirds and the Vitos. Dayton Camoa once again, more than likely for the last time from the Q-Plex this season, saying thank you for tuning into this one. We'll see you next time.